All right, guys, so I stumbled across this video that's going super viral, and it takes place on ASU's campus, Arizona State University's campus. I believe that is the campus it takes place on, as you have two black women, I guess, or two women of color. I don't know what they call themselves nowadays, but they both, these two young women, start freaking out and get super upset because you have two white male students that are sitting in the multicultural space, right? I guess that's a space on campus that is dedicated towards, I guess, multiculturalism, right? And they're sitting in this space and they're minding their own business, just studying, right? Studying, doing what college students are supposed to be doing, right? However, one of the white male students that is studying has a Police Lives Matter sticker on his laptop. So these two women of color, black women, right? I'm not sure exactly what their race is, but these two women get so upset because of the Police Lives Matter sticker, and they proceed to essentially try to kick out these two white male students who are just studying simply because of a sticker on their laptop and the fact that they are white. And apparently them being white means that they can't study in the multicultural space. So I want you guys to actually take a look at this video, and it's like 7 minutes long. I'm gonna cut up some of the parts of it just to be transparent so that you guys get the gist of what's going on here. So let's go ahead and roll the clip.
Did you spell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong?
You have a better.
You're offensive. Police lives matter?
You have the same sticker.
We're just trying to do school.
What?
You guys have the same sticker of the other.
But this is our space.
We've got a Police Lives Matter sticker and we're getting kicked out. Can't do school. You just said we have to leave.
No, I said.
You're making the
You
space
said it makes me feel
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
But you're white. Do you understand what a multicultural space? It means you're not being centered.
White's not a culture?
No.
No, it's not a culture. It's white is not a culture. Say it again to the camera. You think whiteness is a culture?
This is insane.
So anyways, this is the violence that ASU does, and this is the type of people that they protect. Okay, this white man thinks he can take up our space, and this is why we need a multicultural space, because they think they can get away with this shit.
I'm gonna sit here the whole time and you can find somebody to kick me out.
That's cool. We
We're
will.
not kicking you out. We're asking you to leave if you have any consideration for people of color and or marginalization.
So clearly
Room
don't.
that I can go?
Yeah, the whole rest of the campus, the second floor, the first floor, the whole MU, every single part of the campus centers you. This is the only space that you're not centered, and you're still trying to center yourself, which is peak white cis male bullshit.
Dude, I'm not racist. I'm just studying.
Oh, you're not.
You are racist. Your sticker is racist because police, that's a job. You can choose to be a police. I don't choose to be black. Okay? No, you can choose to be a cop. You can choose to kill people with a badge, and you're protecting that which means that you're racist.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to defend you guys.
I know, but this offends us automatically because these people kill people like me and like us, right? So you're promoting our murderers. So please just don't do that.
Sticker affecting you negatively. They're just trying to do your work.
Thank you.
So why should that bother you?
Because, do you understand that Police Lives Matter was in response to Black Lives Matter?
I pay the same tuition as you.
Yep.
Hold on, but
Yeah, that's fine, and you have everywhere. You have.
I'm working 60 hours a week while going to school because my parents don't just give me money.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, it doesn't matter. You have the second floor.
It doesn't matter.
Or you. I don't care about what color your skin is.
You can get out of here if you're going to be yelling at people because they're
She
fighting.
was yelling
This is our space.
This is our space.
here. I don't
We
care.
make this space. We have to work for 5 years
Yes,
to
we
make this
did.
space.
We worked for 5 years for ASU to build a multicultural
Yeah,
space.
this
You're
was
coming in
the-
with, like white supremacist
Dude,
like
we're just
narratives
gonna play it. We're
about
not white
like police
supremacists.
lives
But
police
that's a
lives matter
fucking
is saying
sticker.
police
Yeah, it
lives
is.
matter
Yes, it is.
saying
Yeah,
different.
it's affiliated with white nationalists.
It is.
They're just
It is
sitting here
affiliated
to
to a lot of-
study, and
it
you
is.
guys went out of your way to inconvenience
Yes.
them.
Because this
No.
Yeah, because this is our space. We fought for this for 5 years, since 2016. You have no idea about the labor that was created to create this space and his.
They're not here to cause
So
trouble.
we're saying you're
No, we can't. You're violent,
You
dude.
don't have a fucking sticker.
we're saying you're
Yeah, America, bro, America was created on genocide and slavery. Look at his face. Obviously never.
That is the point. That is always
Yeah, and the point is that studying, this is not space just for studying. This is a space for
We're gonna
multiculturalism.
kill black people. We need to defund and defast in our community. So no, now we're saying. So you're not getting homework done. You're not getting homework done.
You guys are gonna be so
We're not getting homework done. You're making people feel uncomfortable. So can you go? It's just that simple. People are feeling uncomfortable by your sticker. Just like if I had a
Okay, we're
I
racist.
hate white people thing on. That's the same thing as being as this police lives matter. So you're making people uncomfortable. You can go.
Seriously,
I was just studying. I pay the same tuition as you.
And
This
I
is
asked
this
you
white
for
man telling black people
Don't buy this building.
cussing out
I
black people.
work.
You just proved
I'm an
yourself.
official employee.
I don't care where you work for. You can't kick us out of here.
I just told you to shut the because you're making me feel unsafe in this space.
There's no such white people. There's no such thing as reverse racism. So have fun thinking that we are the racist ones. There's no such thing.
He's not white. He doesn't have to. Just the white.
David.
No, we're not saying white people have to leave.
We never said white people need to go anywhere. We said
Let's go to the dean's office. Come on.
You bullied us out, but
we said she was still uncomfortable, and you caused the scene. You caused the scene.
You are unaware of history, and it's ridiculous.
I'm unaware of history. I probably have a further degree than any of you in here.
Tried PhD. So, anyways, we're here. We had to protect the space because ASU wasn't. And you know, like we fought for this space. It was years of organizing, and we're not gonna just let some white supremacists change that. So, anyways, that's why we're here. Yeah, they're gonna make a scene and go talk to their Karens and all of that. But you know, it's important to recognize why we have to do that and what a multicultural space means. Because multiculturalism doesn't mean that, oh, we all come together and hold hands. It means that you provide space and you protect the most marginalized. And that makes this space uncomfortable.
He threatened us that he will go to the dean. We'll see what he will say to the dean. And we'll see how the dean reacts to this. And now we'll see who ASU prioritizes. Students of color in our only in this campus are white cis men who are threatening black students by saying police lives matter.
Anyways, another day of trying to defend this space.
Feel better by making your group less diverse. Doesn't make sense.
Oh wow. Okay, so diversity is about including more white people.
Oh yeah, diversity is now about including white men.
You have the whole campus. Honey, you have the whole campus.
Wow. That's just so much to say about that exchange. First of all, guys, we see who the real racists are in our society, right? And it's not the white guys that was sitting at that desk minding their own business studying, right? The real racists were those two girls who decided to approach those guys just studying simply because they were white with a Police Lives Matter sticker, right? Talking about how they're offended. Oh my God, I'm triggered. I'm so upset because you have a Police Lives Matter sticker on your laptop. I'm about to cry. You got to get out. You got to leave. Police Lives Matter is racist. It's in response to Black Lives Matter, so therefore it's racist. Or maybe he just supports police, right? Maybe he just likes law and order, right? Maybe, you know, he has a family member that's a police officer. Maybe he has some type of connection to law enforcement. That doesn't necessarily mean he's racist, right? I mean, you guys would say, I got hats and stuff like that. That's pro-police. Well, why is that? Because I have police officers in my family, right? I have very close family members that are police officers. And I'm black. Does that make me racist? Because I support police? No, it does not make me racist, right? It makes me somebody that supports police and law and order. But again, these woke revolutionaries have bought into the fake idea that police out here hunting down black people, right? They said police are our murderers, right? These are our murderers. Well, police kill more white people every single year than black people. So does that mean that police are the murderers of white people too, right? Is that what that means? Oh, no. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean only black people, right? Only black people, because you bought into this silly false narrative that police officers out here hunting down black people in the street. That's totally not true. And again, this is why that type of rhetoric is dangerous. Absolutely dangerous rhetoric, right? And if you support police, apparently, again, you're a white nationalist, right? You're a white nationalist if you support police. Discount all the black people that support police. So the point that they're trying to make, right, is that, well, you know, also on top of you having a Police Lives Matter sticker, you're also white in a multicultural center, right? A multicultural study space. And they basically argue that, well, whiteness is not a culture, or that white people can't have a culture. And I hate when people say this because they don't understand what the definition of culture actually is, right? Culture is simply just the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. Culture is more dictated by your location and the people that you're around and that you interact with than your actual race, right? So by definition, everybody has a culture, including white people, right? Everybody in this country is predominantly American, right? Our culture here in America is American, right? We're all a part of the American culture. Now, there are subcultures of American culture that are based off location, right? For example, like Southern culture, okay, which I would say that I'm a part of. And then you also have, you know, some subcultures, you know, that can intertwine with race, ethnicity, or country of origin, right? Let's say that you have, you know, a first generation group of immigrants, right? You know, they come to America and they get Americanized, but they still share some aspects of the culture that they had when they came from their original country, right? So now that's like a mix of the culture between the original country and the American culture. But our overall culture in terms of our habits and behaviors comes off the fact that we all live in America, not necessarily our race, right? We have more in common with each other than we have differences because we all share the same culture, right? Including white people. So this argument that white people don't have a culture is so stupid to me. It's so ridiculous, right? It's so ridiculous. As if race and culture are the same thing. It's not. You can have people of two different races that share the same culture, okay? Because they share a similar way of life, customs, and traditions, okay? Culture and race are not the same thing. Can race play a factor? Sure. But it's not the dominant factor, right? This is why African and black people are different, okay? And you go to a lot of African people, if you call them black, they're going to say, no, I'm not black. I'm African, because there are two different cultures, even though we're essentially the same skin color. Same thing when you go to Asia, right? Guess what's going to happen when you call a Japanese man and a Chinese man, you get them mixed up. They're going to get pissed. They're not the same, right? They have two different cultures. Even though they may look the same, they may be similar from a genetically racial standpoint, they're not the same, right? Because they have two different cultures. Also, when it comes to white Americans and Europeans, we all acknowledge that there's a European culture. Right now, there are subcultures in Europe based off which country you're from, right? But we would all agree that white Americans and white Europeans are not the same. They're not the same, okay? They have two distinctly different cultures and ways of life, even though they share the same skin color and genetic traits, right? Primarily being Caucasian. And if you're white, if you say that you do have a culture, they're gonna say you're racist. So you can't even make a counterpoint and say, oh no, I do have a culture, right? Well, I do, you know, as a white person, I do have you can't even counterpoint, because if you do, then they're gonna say you're racist, right? That's kind of what they do. Okay, so again, these, you know, so-called college educated people don't sound very educated. Okay, don't sound very educated. But also on top of that, they're advocating for flat out segregation. Flat out segregation. They're segregationists. They're saying because you're white, we don't think you have a culture. You can't be in a multicultural center. The multicultural center is only reserved for so-called people of color, right? AKA non-whites. You guys have the rest of campus. As if there's any spaces on campus reserved for just white people, right? I mean, when I was at school, there was no places on campus that was simply just reserved for just white people. There was no spaces reserved on campus for just white people. So this argument that, well, you have the whole rest of campus, right, that's white dominated, white centered, doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. because everybody on campus has to share space, period. Because we all paid tuition to go to the school. Just like that, one guy was pointing out, correctly pointing out, hey, I pay tuition just like you guys. Why can't I use this space? I'm paying for this space just like y'all paying for it. But again, these people, they don't want equality. They don't even care about diversity. What they want is special rights and privileges. They want their own spaces, segregation, and diversity to them means non-whiteness. That's what it means, right? And she said at the end of the video that diversity does not include white people. White people can't be a part of it, which again tells you what these people are about, right? They are the real racists. They're the real Jim Crow segregationists. That's what they are. That's what they are. And if you notice, one of the white male students, right, when confronted, he said, listen, I work 60 hours a week because my parents don't have the money to give me everything. They don't give me everything in life. Like, I have to work for what I get. And this is exactly what I keep trying to tell people about this idea of so-called white privilege, that most people in this society, regardless of your color, do not feel privileged. Most people feel like they have to work for what they get and that their skin color is not an advantage to them, that everything they get is earned, right? Because they don't feel like they're born in a privileged situation. And this is a prime example. This guy's like, bruh, I'm not privileged, right? My parents couldn't afford to send me to college without me paying. So I gotta work. I gotta put in the effort, right? I'm not getting any special privileges because of my skin color. Again, that's how a majority of people feel in this society. They don't feel privileged, right? At least relative to other people in America. I mean, if you are American, you are privileged just to be an American. But I'm just saying, relative to everybody else in American society, most people don't feel privileged. But like I was saying about these two girls, what they demonstrate here is that, again, it's not about equality, right? They don't want to be equal. They want to have a green card to be racist, right? They want to now be the racist. That's what they want to do, okay? And they will do whatever they can to exert that power, right? It's about revenge. It's about being able to do to others what they felt like others did to their ancestors in the past. That's what it's about. It's about revenge. Because otherwise, you would think that if you want to be inclusive, right? If you want people, or specifically white people, to understand you more, right? As a so-called person of color, you would think that you would allow white people into those spaces and say, hey, join us, right? Come sit with us. Learn more about us. You would think that they would welcome people like him into that space. But no, that's not what they do. What they do is that they want to exercise their green card to be racist and kick them out purely based off of their skin color. Purely based off their skin color. Now again, imagine if the roles were reversed. If a white person went to a black person that was studying and said, this is a white-only place. Why are you studying here? This is only for whites. The world would go nuts. It'd be national news. They'd be going crazy if a white person kicked a black person out of a so-called white-only space. They'd be boohoo crying and whining. Right? But when stuff like this happens, they think it's okay to do it. Right? And then they want to say, well, there's no such thing as reverse racism. No, you're right. There is no such thing as reverse racism. It's just racism, right? We're not giving you any special terms. You're just a racist, flat out. And these type of people are the ones that are creating division in this society. These type of people are the same people that are creating a society where you're having overt discrimination and overt racism against white people simply because they're white, which in my opinion down the road is going to lead to a lot of issues. Okay, it's going to lead to a lot of issues. And it's really creating more animosity. It's really creating more disdain towards your cause, right? It really is. It's creating more. It's making people feel like, why should I care about black people, right? If black people are just going to be racist towards me, why should I care about them? Why should I care about black lives? If their whole goal is just to, it seems, get rid of white people, to be racist towards white people. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, man. This is the type of animosity that these people are creating. Whether they know it or not. Maybe they do. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want a race war. Maybe that's what they want. I don't know. You know, if that was me in that situation, I would have left. They would have had to physically make me move, and that just wasn't going to happen, right? They weren't going to physically make me move. I would have stayed, put my headphones in, kept doing what I was doing, and ignored them just to make a point. Because there are no places on campus that should be segregated, period. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.